All right. So out of curiosity, in the chat, who here sends out a neutral letter or arranged offer and then follows up with an offer afterwards versus actually sending out a blind offer? I'm out of curiosity. I'd be interested to know. So go ahead and throw in the chat. Okay, Josiah, you do. Cool. So this would directly apply to you then. You know, when you're getting an offer out there. Sean, okay, so you're doing neutral, but you've never done range. Okay, cool. Awesome. So this is really what that functionality is built for. And let me share my screen again here. Oh, wow. Zoom now allows you to share multiple windows. That's very cool. All right. So this is my dummy account here. And we sort of talked about this a little bit last time. And really, the whole point of this is the way we used to have it was if you got out a neutral letter, the only way you could create an offer and that it would be tracked as an offer would be, generating it as a campaign. And that was a little bit on the cumbersome side. You don't want to just generate a campaign just for one offer that you're going to send out there. So really now what you can do when you're doing your ranged offers, you can come into the campaign. Let's say, I've got a campaign here that I demoed a while ago. Let's just say these all already have offers. Let's see here. Maybe I don't have an. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Let's pretend these are all, what do you call it? Neutral letters. So we've sent out a neutral letter or arranged offer, whatever it may be. Now we are ready to go ahead and create an offer. So we do have this new button here. You can go ahead now and hit create offer. From here, you will be able to write an offer price. Now, this price will actually be recorded. It's not like you're just generating a document and that stat doesn't really matter, but this is actually going to be recorded. So let's just say we're offering $3,000 for that property. The offer date would be, today or whatever it is. So we'll go ahead and hit save. And from here, we're going to be able to now generate that document. So sometimes you may not need to actually generate an actual offer. Maybe you've already moved ahead with things, but if you need to actually go ahead, I'm going to let Kushal in here. If you need to go ahead and select the document or generate a new document, you're going to go ahead and add that document. Again, you don't need to. The key thing is, though, you've written down and recorded that you've now offered something to them. So I'll go ahead and select if I have a purchase agreement here, which I don't. Let me see if I have anything. Well, let's pretend, I have a purchase agreement. I don't have one on this account. I'm not going to go ahead and actually do that. So essentially, I would now be able to fill out everything. Everything should pre-populate. If I need to make any modifications on that offer, I can do so on the left here. Now, this is obviously not, a typical purchase contract, but I'm just using this as an example's sake. Okay. This is obviously when I'm selling a property. So never mind that. But anyways, I'm generating that document. And what happens here, and the whole concept of this on our properties pay on the actual property record, and you can see here, we're able to now go ahead and hit send mailing. We can shoot that out the next day, or it'll get saved to that property record and we can print that anytime. But if we go back to this property now, and what's happening here on the left side is you're sort of having a timeline. So you've got your mailer out, you've sent an offer. If they didn't accept, you can now create a second offer, and you can continue to increment those offers until you acquire that property. So maybe 6 months down the road, you want to be able to make another offer, or maybe not 6 months, but 6 weeks down the road, or whatever it may be. Now, this obviously opens the discussion for, can we automate this down the road? And that is something that we will be looking at. Maybe you would be able to continue to make offers until you actually purchase that property, and it would eventually send those mailing out for you on its own. So it is a strategy I know that some people use, but then being able to automate that would make life a lot easier. So once you offered it, you'll mark it as purchased, whatever the purchase price is. Let's just say we mark it as purchased. Now you can see, again, you've got sort of a trail here of your timeline. You've sent out your mailers, offers, and purchase, and then obviously when it's sold. So this is sort of, again, becoming more of a timeline for you guys to reflect on when you're sending out your offers or whatever other letters you're sending out. That will all get recorded here in that left bar. Cool. Let me just see here. Where is Kevin? I wanted him to also, any questions about one-off offers though? No?
Nope, it's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, so the next feature here is I'm going to dive into it without Kevin. I know he has been working hard on this one. It's our new map functionality. So this is still on our staging, and we are, I don't want to quote Kevin, but we are coming close, probably sometime next week, to be pushing this out. And our new map function will allow you to sort of be able to do your due diligence on Pebble rather than having to go, say, onto the GIS system to find out more about a property. So that, of course, lives in this area here. I'm going to zoom out. All right, so let's just say it's this property here. If we hit edit map here, we will now be able to see all the parcel outlines. So when you're selecting your property, it will have that parcel already pre-selected. Now that is going to be based on your GPS of that property. It won't necessarily be, it won't be on your legal description. It will be on the GPS, I believe. I'm going to confirm that with Kevin a little bit later when he shows up here. But so now your properties will be set onto here with the parcel outlines. You are also able to pull up this data about the property as well. Some pretty cool stuff. You're going to be able to get the APN. I mean, all this information you may or may not have from your property records when you're importing them in, but you can also see when this data was last updated as well. So that is also pretty cool. Now, the really powerful thing is now you're able to also do a bit of research around the area. So you now can actually also pull out surrounding property data as well. So, a lot of times we have to go to our, either we pull data from, our data source, or we go to the GIS system. All this data comes from the GIS. So you no longer need to go into the county's GIS to be able to find this information out. There are some pretty cool stuff. I wanted Kevin to sort of explain a little bit more, but the basic functionality is be able to toggle on between the roads and parcels and whatnot in satellite view as well. You'll have access to that. You'll also be able to reposition your parcels. So like if the selection wasn't exact, and I'm going to have to get Kevin to show this, you can also realign the corners of that property if it doesn't align up exactly right. But you have that ability to do so as well, and the ability to still export this as a Kml file. So we're going to be looking at some more creative stuff we can do with this map. I don't really want to spoil it all here, and I'd like we'd like to get this out first, and then there's some other features that we're looking to build out in our mapping system. So we're really excited about this. This will also still work with printing your postcards. Your postcards will be able to still have the map on that as well. So we're looking forward to that as well. Now, another thing is you guys may want to think about is we're going to be introducing full windowed envelopes. I saw some pretty creative mailers out there. So be able to print that map image also in that entire. So yeah, the entire envelope would be a window. On the one side, you could literally have that map saying, hey, is this your property or whatever it may be. So that is something we are also working on. Aside from that, I'm going to just open up the floor here for Q&A, and hopefully Kevin does show up sooner than later. But do you guys have any questions or anything that you guys want me to demo a little bit more about? I'm going to pull up the chat here as well. If you want to unmute yourself, or you want to just go ahead and type in the chat, or if you have any questions in general.
Hey, Jesse, I was wondering with the new task feature where you can put dates where tasks are due, have you guys thought about providing a calendar view where you could see like what's up for today that's due?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. And I'm assuming that's because you are looking to be able to prioritize. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that way, either for yourself or your team, you can quickly look at like a day or a week view of what's coming up. and
Yeah.
who's doing it and all that, rather than having to go property by property to see
Yeah.
what's due.
Yeah, so we've been sort of talking about this with a couple other users as well, trying to figure out what the best way to go about this would be. You know, first of all, what we're looking to build out is an entire roll up of notifications. So that way
Yeah.
you can see, you know, what's coming up ahead for you guys. Right now, you know, our notification doesn't show exactly everything on there. So we are working to sort of look at doing it that way. Now, another way that we're going to look at to perhaps prioritize things, somebody else brought up, is perhaps even you know, having a expected close date or something like that, so it gives you a sense of priority. And I'm assuming you asking for this calendar sort of thing is, again, figuring out if you can how you guys can sort of prioritize without having to click into each lead or property. Is that right?
Yeah, it's essentially what Trello, Trello's got that feature where you can either see it in this Kanban format or you can click a calendar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna have a look at Trello. Hey, Kevin, are you still there? Are you there?
Hey, yeah. I'm
Hey,
here.
uh, uh, Sean was just sort of asking about, you know, a calendar feature, and I think it comes down to a lot of being able to prioritize what's next and what's coming up. And you know, one of the things that we discussed about was potentially having an expected close date, also having, you know, be able to look at that as a way to prioritize, and then also having a sort of a global notification, you know, a list for you to kind of follow.
Yeah,
Sean
definitely.
also just mentioned about a calendar view inside of Trello, which I actually have never toggled into having a look at before. So it'd be interesting to just have a look
Yeah,
at that.
that must be new because I've not seen that as well, but we'll definitely take a look. Yeah, we can show. I was thinking even just showing like your next due date here. Right now, it shows you sort of your. It turns red if there's something overdue, but having like a specific date there would be helpful, just like your next update.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we could also do a calendar as well. That might have to be a separate page, but that would make sense.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool to see something like on the dashboard, perhaps, or even just a way to filter records by who they're assigned to.
Yes.
Along
Yeah.
with like what Kevin was saying, like a date along with the tasks there. That could be a way to pull that off. That would be pretty useful to
Mhm.
just monitor team activities.
Yeah. And I think
Great
that you guys have a point here, being able to see, again, really see who's responsible for what at a quick glance, rather than have to dive into each one of these. And then these are things that we've been having discussions about. So it's
Yeah, I'll be back.
something that we're looking at. So yeah.
I just want to say overall, the tasks feature as it is, it's great so far.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. And let us know if you have any feedback of things we could change or add to it. You know, this is sort of a first version. We're always looking to improve things as we go.
Yeah. Kevin, just to kind of catch you up, we went through and kind of went through one-off offers, talked about how the offers are on the property page, sort of you start building sort of a timeline, and you can sort of track, you know, when your mailers are going out, when your offers are going out, be able to send out multiple one-off offers until you close on that property. We also dove a little bit into the map, showcased a little bit about that and the parcel outlines, and be able to pull the parcel data up in the, you know, whichever parcel is selected. I think that was there anything I sort of missed on the map that I should have shown? But I think that was pretty much it so far, right?
Yeah, we're going to be sort of tweaking things as we go. But yeah, the updated maps, I think, will be a huge hit for people, especially having those parcel lines there.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked also about uploading a KML file. So especially for those using Priced will provide a KML file of the parcel boundaries. So we will be able to upload that, and you'll be able to basically set set your parcel boundaries based on what those other list providers provide. In addition, you'll also have the parcel boundaries right inside Pebble there. So depending on if they match up or not, hopefully they do, but if they don't, you'll have sort of the option to do both.
Yep. Do we have any other question? And I mentioned to the group earlier, and for those of you guys that joined a little bit later, we'll probably be doing these mastermind group sessions when we have a guest. We'd like to be able to bring in guests to kind of talk about strategies or things that they're doing as users. So it may not be a regular once a month type of thing, but we will make an announcement when these sort of happen. So whether inside of our Slack group or in the Facebook group as well. And everybody here joining, you guys are all inside of the Slack group, right? So if you're not inside of the Slack group and you're a Pebble user, make sure you drop your email in the chat and we'll bring you in.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions do we have from you guys? Kushal, you just unmuted yourself.
Yes, I had posted a question on the Slack group, but since Kevin is here, I'll just ask it here. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Perfect. So if you go to your campaigns page, so right now, see, you have 11 results. I have 20 plus results, and that is growing because I would mail an area, then I would remail, and it's just growing. So I had asked a question whether there is a way to organize this better so that I can maybe put a folder system so that I can put the same area in one folder so that I don't have to look at 20 plus lines of results and have maybe 5 general areas that I'm mailing to. So is there a way to do that?
So right now it's just it'll show your most recent campaigns at the top, and then it'll paginate, I think, if you get over 20 or so results. But that's a good point. Would filtering by county be helpful? Is that how you're organizing things, or?
I don't think I have a filter. I didn't even know that there was a filter that's possible right now on this page. I just have.
Right now there's no filter, but we could add one for county.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that would definitely help. But my goal is to still have a cleaner look on this page rather than have like 20 plus results showing up, and the 20 plus results, like they're like named as if like say area X mail date of say January 1st, and again area X mail date of May 1st. So I don't want to keep repeating that. I would just have a folder called area X, and within that I would have all of those things.
That makes
Does
sense.
that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. How so how many campaigns are you typically running at one time? Are you just doing one active campaign at a time, or are you running multiple campaigns side by side?
Yeah, I'm running multiple campaigns side by side.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a very busy look. When I go to my campaigns page, it's just very busy.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I think we'll probably have to explore somehow to clean that up down the road, especially. I don't know if, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but doing folders might get a little tricky, especially if things are sorted by time on the latest. Perhaps there's something we can do with filters.
Yeah, it could be. We could do it like a tagging sort of system,
right? Yeah.
Where you can tag campaigns, which would essentially act the same as folders.
Yeah, right.
And
way
then
to group them.
You could group them by tag.
Right.
So we'll that's something we'll add to our board, but I agree that there could definitely be some more organization here.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I have one more question. So Jesse, if you can go back to that seller card that you were showing earlier with multiple offers.
Yeah. I may not have one with multiple offers here, but sorry. No, we were in the campaign. Oh,
The one
I
that
think
you
no,
were
we were looking at a campaign.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
Let's just, I think it was this one.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
So this one, I use priced, and
Mhm.
so I think I use a custom field in my offer letter, which takes one of the offer price increments that
Sure.
price produces. But
Mhm.
I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe that on this area on the left where there are all these prices, mailer, I think it still captures the offer price field and not the offer price custom field. So it will
Right.
not. So is there a way so that I can, so, and I was having this problem just like a couple of weeks ago, or actually earlier this week, that it was, even though the letter is going out with the right custom offer field, it initially shows up as if it's capturing just the offer price field. And I was wondering if there is a tweak to change it so that it actually captures the custom offer field.
So is it possible to swap those fields that you're using in your mailer template, and instead of using a custom field, use this actual offer price and basically put your whatever that percentage offer price is, but use that as this actual price, and then maybe have your custom field capture the full value price?
Yeah, it is totally possible. I mean, I can, when I'm importing the data, I can change the offer price field from the drop down. I can make it select it automatically like populates the
Full
offer price that
Yeah.
I pulled from price, but I can choose the drop down and manually say that, okay, no, I want it to be not at, say, 33% that I pulled at. I want it to be at 45%. I'll have to actually manually do that. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah, that might be the easiest way to handle it.
Yeah.
Because the difficulty with custom fields is because every account is different. It's hard for us to match up, which field is where. So if it's possible to have this price reflect your actual offer price.
I have a suggestion for a
Mhm.
potential solution to that. Like when importing records, I love the way you can assign the columns by the placeholders for your
Mhm.
CSV. It would be really cool if there was a way that once we've selected, what we want to assign for a certain provider, that we could just save that as a template, so it would appear in that drop down.
We have heard that a lot, and that's definitely something that we want to tackle. Well,
Awesome.
Ideally, we just remember what you did last time and default.
Sure, yeah.
And that way that saves you the time of having to remap everything. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. But even having like just a button that says, save import assignment template, something like that.
Mhm.
So that, say we pull records from different sources, we can preset it for our own sources in that way. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yep.
Yeah,
We will be exploring that. So we'll get
exciting.
there.
It's definitely on our list.
Yep. Cool.
Awesome. Well, if there's no other questions, like I said, we will probably again wait until we have a guest for the next one, and we'll try to do this, every month. Obviously, we're still going to have our update roundup, so you guys are more than welcome to join us on those live as well. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Aside from that, you'll also find us inside the Slack group. I think, actually, quick question here, Kevin. When should they be able to see some of the map changes come through? That's one I couldn't answer earlier.
Yeah, my hope is next week's release will have that. We've got to still do some testing on it, but next week you'll start seeing those parcel maps there.
Awesome, guys. Thanks very much for joining us on this call here. If there are any other questions, shoot us an email. We'll see you guys in Slack, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for the next update roundup.
Have a great night.
Cheers, guys.